been to a different country and rang home and wondered why the time was different? Or have you had to change your watch on the plane to match the new time? If I was going to ring someone in Australia right now, would it be their daytime or their nighttime? We need to remember that the Earth is constantly and steadily turning on its axis. While countries on one side of the planet will be pointed towards the sun and therefore having their daytime, countries on the other side of the planet will be pointing away from the sun in darkness and therefore be having their nighttime. For example, whilst the United Kingdom is in darkness for nighttime and is pointing away from the sun, Australia might be pointing towards the sun and experiencing their daytime. Then as the sun starts to rise in the United Kingdom and we start to enter our day, in Australia the sun will start to go down and Australia will start to go into nighttime. This is because of the Earth spinning on its axis. As the time is different depending on where you are in the world, everyone has agreed to split the world up into different time zones. They are imaginary lines called meridians. One of the meridians, which passes through London, is known as the prime meridian or the Greenwich meridian. So, while it might be 7 a.m. in the morning in Australia, it would also be 4:30 in the morning in India. And it would also be 12 at midnight in Nigeria. And it would also be 5 p.m. in Mexico. Because these countries lie in different time zones. We can use a map of time zones to calculate all sorts of things. Here's a map of Europe's time zones, which makes things a little bit easier for you to see. The titles at the top explain to you that the countries in the second section have had an hour added from those in the green section, and then those in the pink have had 2 hours added, and so on and so forth. If the time was 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the United Kingdom, what time would it be in Norway? All right, it would be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If the time was 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the United Kingdom, what time would it be in Russia? You're right, it would be 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because Russia is 3 hours ahead of the United Kingdom. Here's a really challenging question. What if I left London at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I flew to France? What time would it be in France when I landed? You'll need to know that it takes roughly an hour and a half to fly to France from London. Don't forget, you have to think about that time difference between the United Kingdom and France. Have you got it? Let's work it out. Okay, so I left London at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I flew to France. We said it takes roughly an hour and a half. So 3 o'clock add an hour and a half would be 4:30 in the United Kingdom. But we need to add that time difference. We need to add that hour. 4:30 plus an hour gives us 5:30. Did you get it right? Why not challenge yourself with a few more questions to do with time differences?